Mr. Speaker, I will open this speech by simply saying to you, if I ever hear you crack a hair joke on me, we're going to have some issues. And to Governor-elect DeSantis and Jimmy Petrone, is just you. We got you. And our Speaker Corcoran and Speaker Oliva. I always have known from day one, when my parents taught me how to bring about a great environment, they said you usually begin with what you have in common with most folk. And I can stand here at this well and tell you without question that the folk I've just mentioned, we all have one thing in common, and that is we all married up. And to Speaker Oliva, Speaker Corcoran, Governor-elect, and cabinet members, I am humble and thankful for this opportunity to stand before all of you. And to my members, 120 of us, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to stand before you and bring words. And to Al Jaquette, Representative Jaquette, and Representative Cindy Polo, thank you for those kind words. Our party is better because of you. And to my wife, Stacy, Kionne II, Haley, and Hayes, you know, words can't really explain how blessed we are to have each other. And former Speaker Will Weatherford, I believe you would appreciate this. My wife is a venture capitalist, and she specializes in acquiring and developing projects and growth and potential in areas. And I am her project. She created the Help Me Lord LLC. And her mission was to transform me into the man that I am today. And baby, I just want you to know that by unanimous consent and unanimous vote, both Republicans and Democrats, we hereby order you today to dissolve that corporation. Job well done. (102) members of the Plymouth. We recall that they were the pilgrims who boarded a ship, not quite sure exactly what they would find, but they knew in their hearts and in their minds, no matter what they found over here, they would still begin what we call the birth of a new nation. And it is with that, they set out, they challenged the oceans, they challenged the elements, but they never threw in the towel, despite and in spite of the challenges that they faced. And they knew all too well that their voyage would produce challenges like they've never seen before. But they never gave in to those challenges. They pushed forward. They did it with grit and smiles, understanding, love, compassion, with the understanding that no matter what may come their way, they would refuse to quit because they understood what we now appreciate even more today, that the American dream would be founded upon their movement, that the American dream is something that all of us share in, whether we're Republicans or Democrats, black or white or Hispanic, gay or straight. We are all children of that American dream. They didn't stop there. They understood that it would take a government by the people, of the people, and for the people. They didn't stop there. They understood that for a government to survive, that cornerstones had to be set up. And for them, the cornerstones were simple. They understood that it would begin with our faith It's that thing that holds us together, that binds us with our supernatural being, that thing that says to us, when times get hard, we must persevere. They understood faith, unlike many before them. They also understood that a government by, for, and of the people needed to recognize and appreciate the family structure. That it would be family, following our faith, that would continuously push us forward to ensure that that American dream become that ever-living movement. And they didn't stop there. They understood that if we have our faith here and our family there, they understood that our flag would be that one item, the most important item, to ensure that all of us pledge allegiance to one government, one appreciation, one love. But I believe, Mr. Speaker, it was the fourth cornerstone. I believe that fourth cornerstone is the real reason that all of us are in this chamber. And all of our family members and friends have come to cheer us on. It is our future. That is the final cornerstone that our founders thought to be very important to move this nation forward. So when you take everything together and you analyze the American experience, what you quickly come to realize is that our faith, our family, our flag, and our future are the cornerstones for which everything that we do, we say, we move is built upon. Which brings us here today. If those four are our cornerstones of democracy, then what is it that we must place upon it to ensure that those cornerstones remain in place? I say to you, we begin by understanding that each and every last one of us in this chamber had some teacher who looked at us and reminded us that there's something great about each and every last one of us in this room. There is not a single soul in this room who can stand and face reality to say they were not affected in a positive way by one teacher. And if that is the case, then it is incumbent upon us to say to the teachers of this state that your starting salary should at least be $50,000 per year. I know. You asked for the next item that sits upon the cornerstones of this great democracy. A democracy is only as good as the people who represent it. A democracy is only good as the people who it stands for. A democracy can only exist when there are healthy people to move it forward to that more perfect union. And that is why it is the minority's position that we must expand Medicaid for over 800,000 individuals within this state. They also understood that our cornerstones must have other elements in order for this democracy to move forward. They understood the Second Amendment. Yes, muskets. We have rights to bear arms. That is something that my party, my friends, my family, we appreciate because our founders said that it's a must. But I do not believe for one second that our founders envisioned a reality where there will be weapons of mass destruction, AK-47s, AR-16s, that causes mass destruction in our communities by killing our young, innocent children through gun violence. We must ban those weapons of mass destruction. But our cornerstones, which make up our democracy, right? They're great, because each and every last one of us in this room can participate. But they also understood, and we now, those of us have the power, that we must protect our environment, that our oceans and our lakes and our canals shall not be the same color as the crayons found in our school children boxes. We must demand an environmental protection plan to ensure that our future has drinking water, clean air, and renewable fuel. That's what we must do to protect our environment. We must also come to reality and understand and appreciate this. You know, 1620, and even to 1845, when this body held its first meeting, there were certain people who were not allowed to participate in the power structure that we see today. And we must come to realize that we have made great gains. And that is why I believe that we must now open the door and allow for fair working conditions and wages. And that should come in the form of a competitive workforce act that protects our brothers and sisters of the LGBT community. We have shunned them for too long. It's time to open the door, to allow them in, to give them the same equality that you and I enjoy on a daily basis. That's what we can do to move this union towards a more perfect union. Make no mistake about it. I understand exactly how far I've come. I know what it's like sitting in a classroom, right, where you're not allowed to enjoy the company of students who they call regular. I know what it feels like to sit in a room where there are 15 or 20 of you, and you've been labeled mentally retarded by standards of folk who've never met you. I also know what it's like to have doctors and psychologists and psychiatrists examine you as if you are some guinea pig and say that you suffer from dyslexia. I also understand all too well what it's like to lose a brother to murder and have a father gunned down. I also understand and appreciate what it's like sitting in a housing project in the dark because the electricity was turned off due to there not being enough money coming into the house. And I also understand and appreciate a reality of a single mother at the time who raised 6 of us, 3 boys and 3 girls. I'm the second oldest. And also understanding and appreciating that we actually shared clothing. I would remove my shirt and my jeans only to wash them in the kitchen sink for my brothers to wear them the next day to school. I also appreciate and understand the reality that we didn't have a dryer in the house and there was no clothesline to hang the clothes. So the oven became our dryer at that particular moment. But I'm also appreciative and understanding of knowing that the ingredients to my success are found within my struggles. You see, members, each and every last one of us in this room, we have a story. And that story has to be told. You ask, what is the American dream? The American dream has never been about cars and houses, boats and bank accounts, businesses and wealth. The American dream has always been about that collective storytelling that pushes us forward and remind the generation to come that there have been people who have gone through what you've gone through. But it is incumbent upon each and every last one of you to remind them that they can do it in spite of what they've gone through. I'll close by saying this. I have the honor and privilege of leading the most diverse minority caucus in the history of Florida, in the history of this chamber. I have the honor and privilege of leading 23 dynamic women. I have the honor and privilege of leading 21 African Americans. And 3 openly gay, lesbian, transgender brothers and sisters of this process. So when I hear people say that there is a divide, that there is no hope, that we must pack up and leave because Tallahassee is broken, I'm here to remind them that if I had taken that position before and shut down shop, there is no way under God's green earth that this day would even be possible for me and my family. You see, the same kid who was labeled mentally retarded became a prosecutor, prosecuting some of the toughest criminals in Miami-Dade County. The same individual who they said suffered from those symptoms of dyslexia has written 2 books. One became a bestseller. The same individual who they told that would never amount to anything, because categorically I was stamped a failure, now stand before you, saying to you, the cavalry that we've been waiting for to protect our future, our flag, our faith, and our family, we are that cavalry. We will push Florida forward. We will demand accountability on this floor. Our debate will be limited to those microphones. And when we finish, we'll pack it all up and go smoke one of those good Oliva cigars. So, Mr. Speaker, I look forward to you being my speaker, and I'm your leader. I like the sound of that. I look forward to working with you closely. And I also want to take a personal privilege to recognize my deputy minority leaders, Representative Margaret Good, Representative Severin Jones, Representative Richard Starks, and Representative Barbara Watson. And because I know the media is watching, just a point of clarification, I did not just invent another firearm, the AR-16. It is the AR-15. So with that said, Mr. Speaker, thank you. Thank you to all the members. God bless Florida, and God bless this great nation. Thank you.